his third
That's a
child's
secret.
birthday. Oh, no, I don't know if that's true.
Nope, it's not.
Oh, and
Lips are sealed.
actually, may you move your water bottle just a little over? Thank you very much.
Or else we need to call a previous company to take that out.
Yeah.
So where are you all from?
We are from Skywalking Through Neverland. Where's our sign?
Oh, okay.
Mine disappeared. Skewed and reviewed.
Scoot and reboot?
Skewed and reviewed.
Skewed and, okay. And they're down there. Okay,
We
got
do a
it.
lot of Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, and whatever makes people happy.
Yes.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which
Yeah.
is a great gift to 2023.
Yeah.
So your work is much
To
appreciated.
be a part of it is just, Indy Jones is what got me into the industry. I sat in a movie theater on Last Crusade and just said, I've got to do this. The way I feel about this movie, I've got to be able to make this for people. I am putting my name up on that screen somehow, someday. This was back when I was, what, 20?
Dreams do come true.
In '89?
In '89, actually, so that was however old I was. I was in high school. And just to be able to be on this side of it now, I did get my name up there, but to be able to have the chance to make something and help other people feel what I felt that day, I remember it so clearly, and I love that I get to be excited with everybody
pay
and
it
help
forward.
make that happen.
That's the greatest gift of
I love
all.
it.
To make
I
people
love it.
feel how you felt when you sat in that theater.
That's my goal.
And how about you? What was the film that got you into the film business?
Well, I don't
Inspired
know.
you.
I think I was more into art, and then somehow I was in animation for a very long time, so it's animated movies that kind of got me into it. And then started working with Clint in 2008 in previs and live action. And so I don't really have, I don't know if I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, of course, like you have to be, and like Disney animated movies, love the Disney animated movies. Probably Sleeping Beauty, because I love Ivan Earl, he's one of my favorite artists. So.
She has so much art of his all over her
Yeah,
office.
so yes, I think that was probably the younger ages, so not as much action hero-y stuff. But I did watch multiple times all the Indiana Jones movies for sure. So
Yeah.
So I'd be curious, your work in the film, what was your favorite part that you worked on?
Favorite part that I worked on. There's a lot of them. I did love, I got to talk about it in the panel a little bit, but I loved the anti-aircraft gun. It was really fun and satisfying to figure that out, and figuring out how much the train would have to bend, and is it reasonable that a gun can do this, or is this going to be Hollywood fakery? I always want to go as real as I can to start. We still cheat to get, so you don't get bored, because life is kind of slow and boring. But we want to make it exciting, but starting with figuring out how much curvature, how to get the gun to actually pull into range, and we had the guys putting these light beams on the end of the gun so we could see at various radius of track how it would hit the train or not, how far it could go. Could it get right behind Indy, or could it only go halfway up the train? That was a really fun sequence, and then to have it turn out in the film, and it played well.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I thought that was inspired by the Jabba the Hutt sail barge, when Leia spins the cannon around and blows
I never
up
even
the
thought
barge.
of that.
I thought, oh, there's a Star Wars reference
I never
right
thought
there.
of that one.
but maybe we'll say it from now on.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
we'll use that. Yeah, I love that scene.
Did you work closely with James Mangold while you were working on the film?
Yeah, I worked very closely with him. This is my 5th film working with Jim, and he keeps a core people. Dirk is one of them, and the people that he relies on. We all sit in the bullpen and figure out what kind of movie he's trying to make and help him make it. I usually review all my stuff with Jim, and I run by his office when we're not in pandemic mode and pitch him ideas, sometimes in the bathroom. Hey, what do you think if we crash this? No crash? Okay. It's fun working with Jim, because he teaches you filmmaking as he's directing the film, and he'll get into explanations of, well, you can't do that, this is why, because if you do this, it'll feel like that. And it's like the best film school I've ever been to, is working with Jim on so many projects. And I got paid to do it instead of going into debt, so.
Yeah, I always felt like with Night and Day, which is the first Mangold movie that Clint had worked on, like he wasn't quite into that whole previs idea at first, but I really feel like once he found Clint, he found his person that could help him explore in that realm, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and which has been,
that was the first of 5.
yeah.
That was a very interesting part of the, oh, go ahead.
I was saying he does give input when you show him what you're working on.
Yes, he's very passionate in his responses. This is great. This sucks.
Like the liquor bottle.
This is a liquor. Don't give it the liquor bottle. Tell Clint to get off the show. And there's a lot of fun jabbing and camaraderie. He's a big and I hate to say the word, but he's a big, loud teddy bear, and it's fun to work with him because we can jab each other and still be happy and to keep working together. It's a fun environment.
That was a very interesting part of the panel that you said that you had a lot of input on the story. Can you talk about that? How much input did you have? Because doing the special effects in the previs, you would know what's going to work. And did you ever say, I don't know how it's going to work, that's your job?
Yeah.
How much input did you have on the story?
So, depending on how you want to define story, the script was made and he knew he wanted to go through certain beats of the character going from his highs to his lows to his super lows to, you know, whatever the betrayals and this and that. He maps those out. But he then includes us to say, how do we get there? Right now it's written this way, but I'm feeling like it's okay, but could we do better? And so then, you know, Dirk or myself or the production designer, or the storyboard artist, we all kind of start throwing ideas onto the table, and things get ejected and things get explored. And it's like, yeah, let's try that. Clint, why don't you visualize that for a couple of days, see if it feels good, and put it in front of him, and he can react and say, yeah, let's keep going down this road, or now that I see it, it's too far-fetched. That's not what I want. I don't want far-fetched. I want grounded. So I have a lot of influence in connecting the dots, not necessarily defining those dots. Like he's mapping out the story, the emotional through line, and I help him create the action and not the performance, but the blocking of how characters relate to each other physically and how to communicate that to the audience, especially in the action stuff. He doesn't do a lot of action, but now he does because I help him figure out how to shoot action.
It's super collaborative in the Evercast sessions that they would do, so it's all remote working for this, so everybody would be on the call.
Yeah.
It would be the storyboard artists, would be everybody on there, and they would all be like, what this isn't working, what about this or that? And so they would all kind of chime in. They're very collaborative.
Yeah.
So do you work with ILM at any point?
I would work with them in the latter portion of the film, usually during the post-viz phase. We would get concept art from them early on. They were involved early, but I would work with them and hand off some of my files to ILM because I'm designing the post-viz files, getting the first look of the visual, where Jim wants the visual effects. Then I would give my Maya files, my digital files, to ILM so that they didn't have to start from scratch. And so I interacted with them a lot in the second half.
And the VFX soup too, and White.
The VFX soup I'm working with throughout the production. As soon as he comes on, I work with him or her. In this case,
But if he's asking you to connect these dots, I would think you'd want to go to ILM and say, hey, I got to do this. What in reality can we do? I don't want to go off in this direction and have you go, no, we can't do that.
That is for them to tell the director and then him to react.
Gotcha.
But he's very more grounded of a director, so he doesn't want to do all that crazy stuff anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to be more real.
Yeah, and that really is the visual effects supervisor's job. He is representing ILM, and he's there to be that voice of, just know if we go down this road, this, and this. That's this visual effects supervisor's.
But I think we're supposed to wrap.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.